tactical, immersive, technologically ahead, and brave. Gray Zone Warfare, the new PvEVP shooter by Madfinger Games that puts you in the boots of a PMC operative deep within the jungles of Southeast Asia. Completing missions in a 48-player server with 3 different mercenary factions of 16 players each, competing for control, with multiple planned factions of AI fighting over control as well, and hints of anomalous activity deep within the zone. I was kindly invited by the Gray Zone devs to play an early version of the game, and rest assured, I can confirm this is a real game, albeit an early look at a pre-alpha of a real game. We were given a guided tour of a certain mission, then set free to explore a small slice of the game for 2 days, where we could travel wherever we wanted within a section of the map, shoot however many bad guys, and ride on as many little birds as we pleased. Gray Zone Warfare, the game that combines features from DayZ, Tarkov, and Ghost Recon combined. We get a taste of Gray Zone Warfare's full potential in today's video, but not all of it. That will come in future playtests and coverage of the game that I'm sure I'll be able to explore. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see more Gray Zone gameplay in the future. So what do you do in Gray Zone Warfare? You are on a 48-player server with a large Southeast Asian countryside of rice fields, villages, industrial zones, airfields, creeks, and thick jungle. You spawn in at your base, pick your loadout, grab a task, and watch as the little bird you called in to pick you up moves across your Blue Force tracker as it comes into land. Your base is a physical safe zone at the corner of the map. Imagine Chinaris in DayZ with 3 different faction safe zones on the corners. When you enter a raid, you simply get into your helicopter and fly in, or you can just walk in. There's no raid timer, the world is persistent, whether you're in a raid or not. Whoa, it's pushing the trees.
Oh, dude, the downdraft from the chopper looks so good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Trees.
Oh, and the dust too.
That looks really solid.
Really cool. As you lift up from your base, you'd expect a fast travel transition or a loading screen, but no loading screen at all. In fact, throughout the entire playtest, the only loading screen I ever saw was when I launched the game. Starfield, take notes.
Get ready. 30 seconds.
Dude, that was sick.
Pretty well done.
This is the reactions I like to hear.
But
the reactions I like to hear.
Games don't look this good, man. This game looks incredible.
Where'd you guys run off to?
Will this thing squish us as well?
Yes, it will squish you.
In our version of the game, we only had one of the, I believe, over 100 quests that will be available at launch. Grab some intel on a phone and a document in 2 different locations and return alive. The visuals, the textures, models, lighting, and environment are very impressive. I mean, top of the line like nothing I've ever seen before. This is a game built on Unreal Engine 5, utilizing path trace lighting through Lumen and Nanite to create hyper-detailed models that still can run on a gaming PC. I'm playing on a 13900 CPU and an RTX 4090, and I was only hitting about 80 FPS most of the time in 1440p with some pretty plentiful FPS hitches. The first-person animations for weapon manipulation, eating food, and medical care are industry-leading, and the player models of my teammates and room temperature bad guys look fantastic with easily the highest detail I think I've seen in any game so far, minus some clipping issues on certain combinations of gear. Everything from guns, skin, hair, clothes is evenly lit and looks extremely natural. And one of the most important features in a game that includes any level of PvP is the ability to stay concealed. Old engines struggle with this, having to fade away things like grass, shadows, and clutter at distance for optimization's sake, creating weird situations where spotting someone up close was more difficult than spotting them from far away. In Gray Zone, they've destroyed that problem. Entire fields of crop reach out to over 500, maybe even 700 meters in render distance. Only once could I see the edge of small plants and grass being rendered, and it was on a heli bench when I just got a lucky spot at the far edge of the map. And shadow distance was nearly infinite. I don't know if it ever stopped. With a game of this scale, trust me, that is something that is pretty hard for games to do still. I can't wait to see the game with a true day-night cycle, as with the power of Lumen's actual dynamic lighting, all lights can be shot out. Imagine what powerful weapon lights can do with the power of path trace lighting, or how well you could simulate the insane throw of car headlights when looking through nods. It's as big of a graphical jump as Battlefield 3 gave us in 2011, and once we have a few optimization patches, there will be nothing like it.
Alright, so far you guys made it pretty far without a casualty. I like seeing this.
Oh, I don't like you saying that. Ooh,
Yeah,
contact front right, front right.
Attack, I'm hit. On the right. North.
Light bruise to the head.
I'm gonna move to this, moving to the right building here.
The bruises just go away over time, or do I have to treat them?
Yeah, they go away over time.
I'm at the right house.
I'm with you.
Down the road.
On the road, yeah. West.
Oh, guy came out on the right again.
To the right. Sound-wise, I think I disliked most of the sound in the game in the version we played. Firefights were audibly uneventful, quiet, and just didn't sound scary, lacking necessary reverb and distant echo sounds. Environment audio is this mono looping track that never leaves your brain.
Where? Far close? I'm hitting him. I'm gonna push.
I think that the only audible part of this game I liked was the little bird. It's nice. This is the piece of feedback that we gave them that they immediately replied with, yeah, we're fixing it. But if you look at the most recent IGN gameplay, which is a newer build of the game, it just has frogs as loud as humanly possible. So loud. The comment section even said the frogs are louder than the guns. Moving through the map with no time limit feels fresh. I immediately felt like I was playing a DayZ mod rather than an extraction shooter. With no raid timer, extraction or spawn camping is nearly impossible, or at least will never happen on purpose. With a more open map, I'm not forced into choke points like in Tarkov. The overall player threat in this version would be something similar to a lower population DayZ server, but more on that later. The game's interface follows the doctrine of mostly showing you heads-up display elements only at extremely necessary times. I still think that a top-anchored compass personally looks a bit ugly, and the stamina being at the top left is a bit weird, but I greatly appreciate the attempt at clean UI. Ghost Recon. Take notes. Guns feel pretty nice. As I mentioned earlier, the animations for weapon manipulation are top tier, and I do think the devs have put more effort into the weapons than I had expected. Scopes are realistic, but pretty bad at the moment, both in ergonomics and the tanking frame rate when you're aiming down sights, but I think that's a fix bound to happen no matter what. When you finally reach the village, you will encounter AI. In this urban sprawl environment, they speak mostly English with a roughly Asian accent and will yell profanities at you as they open fire. Their AI were pretty deadly, on par with Tarkov AI in their general difficulty, but they do have a motivation system within their code where if they kill or maybe wound a player, they will gain courage to assault you more aggressively. If you drop one of them, they may take cover and hide more. This leads to firefights, in theory, being dynamic based on who lands good hits first. I personally didn't feel this too much. I had a lot of points where I was schwacking AI as a solo player, yet they'd still be rushing me just like any scav in Tarkov. I'll give you a few minutes of gameplay here to just see what a raw little firefight is like when we entered the village at one point. There's timestamps on the video, so if you want to skip this kind of raw gameplay section by any means, you can just scroll on your phone or your PC, wherever, to the next chapter in the video, and it will go on to me talking again. But for a few minutes, here's some raw gameplay.
Not behind it, guys.
Oh, you're hit.
Yeah. He's still up.
got
He's
you.
still up.
I'm with you, Karma.
Curious what the time to kill is going to be like on the PvP.
Well, I guess you can either load up for killing. What are these? What are they called? Bandits or they're not bandits? They're
You took a shot too.
I'm hit.
Like-
Yeah. I think he's down.
All right. Yeah, he might have had a plate. I was putting a bunch center mass and he wasn't going down.
I'll call them scabs for now. I feel like you could probably run like hollow points for killing
shit.
focusing scabs.
More right here.
Yeah.
But then players are gonna be. Whoa!
Back up.
Ooh,
You're
come back and
getting
kill
Get
it.
a
up.
frag. Get a frag over there.
Just cover the corner. I've got the corner. I don't have frag. I'm holding corner. Oh, far. Past the corner. I have no eyes.
We should get out of this lane.
Yeah. Come back.
Yeah, just get back out of here. I'm just pressing.
I'm holding
Reload.
corner.
Alright, I'm backing up and
Good. I was trying to get a hard point in the building.
I hear him on the other
Yeah,
side.
let's get out and to the left. Out and to the left in the shed, at least for people
Throw
healing.
a frag right there.
There's a ton to the right
Okay,
where I'm facing in the main street, moving left to right.
got it. I'll load.
One inside.
Us, man.
Man, this game looks so good, dude. Just the visuals are insane.
Yeah.
We're about to get surrounded.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna go upstairs, see if I can get a good angle.
I'm gonna assess my trauma here.
I'm gonna watch the way we came. Nobody's outside, correct? We're all in.
You want high-low here and one on your shoulder?
Oh, see, oh, I
Yeah,
think I
I'm
see
gonna
one.
peek that alleyway again, because I think
With
they're all in it. I know where you are.
I'm gonna get a frag out
Headshot
there.
of one.
Frag out.
Got the scorpion guy.
Frag out.
Nice frag.
Ooh, that was a cool fragmentation effect.
Yeah, looks
It hit
really
the
good
building.
with the foliage. Oh, shots coming through the wall?
I do think that the headset
bullet,
audio is a bit
come through the wall.
too
That's cool.
compressed.
Called me a pussy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He's
I'm with
pushing
you
around.
here if you want to push it.
He just
if you want run from grenade.
left to right.
Bad nade. I'm gonna try and rotate on the contacts here.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Yeah, they're still by that same wall.
I'm with you.
Oh, it's just a bunch of foliage. Behind.
In the alley.
Yeah, they're crossing this too.
He's down.
Got you.
Moving to garage.
Where'd you guys go?
I went out to the
We're
left.
down
They went
on
out
the
to the right. Got one down.
I just did some real frame lag. Yeah, the ACOG is not optimized, man.
Oh yeah,
It's,
none of the
it's
scopes
a little
are.
rough.
Okay.
Coming up with you.
Check map here.
So
Loading.
they don't infinitely respawn as far as I understand, right?
Probably not in the
That's why we have to
same
restart the
zone.
server.
Oh yeah.
Nice hit of ping. Oh, I can. So I think we got to move here, boys. Shit's a move marker, and then it's on the compass as well. That's nice.
Okay, I'm gonna really quickly load my mags here.
I'm gonna check this corner up here. Just see if anybody's still.
Yeah, I definitely think loading animations need to be in because the old just like throwing rounds back into your mags is a bit weird for a game that doesn't have a time limit.
Yeah. So I'm coughing and I'm hurt. Did I take a fucking sucky chest with him?
Here, I'm checking you.
Do really like the Blue Force Tracker style map. That's neat.
I'm gonna use a surf kit, see if this helps.
You have organ injury. I don't think you can fix that in the field.
Maybe the serve kit will do it. We'll see.
You need like one of those things from that Alien movie where it delivers the baby. You know, it's like the.
Dude, this
automated-
animation is long. Holy. Oh yeah, that fixed it. So organ injury is serve kit. We'll solve it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Check your energy and hydro too, guys. If you're low.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Food and water, food and water.
Snack time. Active snack time.
I like how carefully he screws back on the water bottle. He's like, so, I don't know. Watch him screw back on. He does it very, like, dainty.
Deliberately.
Yeah.
Got like the fingertips like
yeah,
twisting and
his
everything.
fingertip twist is funny. I don't know why.
Alright, so check your compass. We're trying to get to the waypoint to get the first objective.
I think I hear somebody over here by me.
That Emery animation is awesome.
It is.
It's so stupidly good.
Get on level here.
Yep, coming.
Did you go
Maybe
through here on the
it could
right?
be a chicken. I don't know.
Ooh. The chicken?
Yeah, the chickens make sound.
If you kill them, you can cut them up and craft them into fried chicken. There's
worth
a
it.
whole
Got it.
cooking sub game to this.
I got voices to the left here. I'm gonna flip. Ready?
Yep.
1.
Right side.
Left as well.
Dang.
Okay. I'm gonna cross. Crossing.
2 contacts in front.
Oh, you
Dude,
took
you
a
just
hit.
took one in the helmet.
2, you took 2 hits.
Back out if you need.
Yeah, I'm back. They're right in the middle.
Whoever's
of the
still
road.
holding, you took 2 hits.
I'm coming in.
On your work.
And we're looking good. I think most people are going to end up drawing comparisons from the bandits in this game to the scavs in Escape from Tarkov, because the scavs serve the same purpose, a moderately difficult tripwire that the player must deal with in only certain areas. The intensity of dealing with scavs isn't just because you're dealing with them, but because another player can usually hear you dealing with them. There's always the chance that a player may enter as a third party, which greatly heightens the chance of you dying to an ambush. There's also some depth in the identification alone, where you don't know very easily if a scav is a player or not, as players can wear similar clothes, use the same weapons, or even become a scav themselves. I felt that when fighting these bandit-like enemies that I wasn't very challenged. I actually only died once in the entire playtest to bandits, and that's because I was solo and couldn't cancel an animation.
Over here! I see him!
When you enter the village, the majority of the AI are just standing around idle. They're not running around. Many of them aren't really patrolling, talking amongst themselves, looting or cooking, sleeping. So when encountering them, I just felt like I was playing something like Ground Branch. Really cool gun, really cool night vision, but the bad guys I'm shooting at just feel like they're hired actors, told to run and shoot roughly in my direction upon contact.
I can even see
Is that
it.
you on the left behind the yellow truck?
Nope, hostile.
He's down.
Yeah, he walked into the firing squad.
But one thing that Tarkov makes a mistake of, you can like literally throw a grenade. AI
Yeah.
don't even have to see the grenade; they'll shout "grenade." Having a system where they can actually see it and be it within their vicinity to make it make sense would be cool.
Take you
Okay,
guys
so
up.
objective is upstairs in this building.
This interior lighting is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be a phone right here on.
Do we all need to take it? or
You
should-
all need to grab it, yes.
Gotcha.
Come on out here.
Are the textures inside the MRE randomized?
Oh no,
Is
no.
Okay.
One time you get taco, sometimes you get spaghetti.
Someone
if you got-
interacted that.
If you guys had like chili mac and stuff, I would love y'all, man. Behind as well.
Oh shit!
Also dead.
Reloading. He's
Rotating.
dead. He's dead.
Contact front behind the truck. Wow, I hit him.
There's another guy on the left yelling at us.
I'm going for him.
Okay, some of us
Tell
are
me if
shifting
there's-
left.
When hit, you can bandage yourself with a very physical animation that spawns an entire toilet paper roll on your arm, and here I accidentally splinted myself, tourniqueted myself, and then bandaged myself because I was clicking the wrong buttons and could not animation cancel. But when a buddy gets hit, you can also aid him. You can be downed in a sort of cardiac arrest state as well, not dead, similar to Arma 3 Ace's down state, where you and your friends can work on your medical issues to eventually have you wake back up.
We gotta come over here. This is the second building.
Okay?
So kind of like the description of the quest, as you were looking for these certain buildings that were covered with graffiti. So if you kind of notice the same graffiti from this building and the other one. And then if we go on in here,
Ooh.
it is right here on this table.
Gotcha. The transition of the lighting from indoor to outdoor is really nice.
That's
Yeah.
that lumen, dude.
Yeah.
We go ahead and close this. Does it get darker in here?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You can
sick.
check the floor.
Try to open the door.
Oh wait, so are you guys using Lumen?
Oh.
Oh, okay, can you physically walk into the door and open? Oh my god, thank you.
Oh, so you can push it open? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
once
that's
it's kind of like
amazing.
halfway.
Wait, is that Lumen or is it just exposure control?
Ow.
But overall, even with the cool medical system, the cool guns, graphics, and environment, I just felt that without the threat of players, as there was no chance of PvP in this playtest, I couldn't get very immersed fighting the seemingly flat AI. It created some cool little moments, but it was surface level. Clean even stated in a feedback session a very similar opinion.
I was just gonna say, like, I think one thing that's gonna be crucial for this game's success is making the AI like feel like they're actually living in the world. Like,
Dynamic.
Yeah, so Stalker's a good example of that. Like, they go on patrols, they go and sit at campfires, they eat, they talk to each other, they engage with each other, they go and like go kill things, they go engage enemy squads and try and take specific locations. But also things like from Metal Gear Solid, where in Metal Gear Solid, like when you go knock out the generator, the guy goes and fucking looks at the generator and sees what's wrong. You go cut a light out, goes like, huh? What was that? That was fucking weird. But I think looking at games like Stalker AI Life in terms of like the world interacting with itself, as well as games like Metal Gear Solid, where the AI are really intelligent in like the areas that they're at and how like the player engages with them is going to be crucial to make this game interesting.
If fighting the AI are such a large component of the main game's loop, this is way too dry. Let's get a little speculative here. One of the most interesting parts of the game, in my opinion, is when you die. This is arguably the hardest part of the gameplay loop for the developers to design and figure out, but it's easily the most important. When you die in Escape from Tarkov, you lose all your gear and you're dead. No coming back. Sounds stupid to say, but let's compare that to Battlefield. When you die in Battlefield, you don't really die. You are just given the choice of going back into the fight to any friendly captured objective on the map, respawning with full health and ammo. When you die in DayZ, you lose all your gear, but you are randomly respawned somewhere in the same instance. You didn't really die, you're still in the match, you just lost your character and their gear. Your body remains out there, and if you can get back to it in time, or if your friends can cover it for you, you'll be able to reacquire your entire lost progression. This is where Grayzone comes in. When you die, you respawn instantly back at base. Same server, unless there's a system to negate this ability. If you wanted to go back to your body and rejoin your buddies, it'd take you a minute to build a basic fighting kit in your inventory, maybe a 4-minute helicopter ride if it's like halfway across the map, and a 5-minute walk tops, and boom, you're looting your own corpse. This is in the current version, mind you, if there was PvP, and it's only 1/30th of the entire map. But the question I have remains is, even if the travel time is longer, whatever, how does Grayzone want to handle death? If I kill a player, will I have a time limit I'll have to put in the back of my head until that player can return, attempting to either get revenge or grab his loot? I've always found that feature alone to be a massive immersion killer in games like this. If the developers can design systems to fight this sort of gameplay or the meta that this would create, that's very important to me. The helicopter insert is also an odd feature in itself. It's definitely cool and very cinematic and well executed at the moment, but I asked a question to the devs. What if my helicopter flies over an enemy player who begins shooting at us? The pilot very likely works on pre-made flight tracks at the moment, so how would one dynamically change his flight path when taking fire? What if the fire was right before the LZ? What if I'd rather commit to the landing and engage the player? These small questions that started popping up began to make my head wander on all the possibilities of how players would meta this game out. I began asking questions about PvP and how I felt the description of the PvP in the game was not very clear at the moment, and I think the devs are also still trying to work out this chemistry equation just like I began to. People are saying that this is a Tarkov game, even Tarkov Killer, but it's very much not. It's a DayZ Ghost Recon game. It's a persistent world that continues when you die. You can rejoin the world after you die. It has villages with localized enemies to create dynamic PvE scenarios with potential PvP pressures. And I'll remind you again that this is a 16v16v16 PvE shooter. That means 3 teams of, let's say, 4 squads of 4, for example, all doing their own quests or working together to accomplish maybe something like live events, that's speculation, in the world. I find that player count to be very interesting. This isn't like a squad server where there's 50v50 and it's very clear cut how the game is played. There's no loot between characters. There's not really even a reward when you die. So the main objective of squad is to just beat the enemy team so that you win on the scoreboard. But imagine the solo queuing experience of 48 players split into 3 different teams and how that would feel to have to work together with 15 other players on your team, potentially on a quest that only you have. I feel like what this is going to lead up to, if it ends up anything like the quest system in Escape from Tarkov, is where quests are going to be the primary method that you will progress in the game. And by doing these quests, you'll likely end up on different quests than what your team is on. So there's a lot of problems here, because that means that a lot of players are going to be focusing on their own quests and not working together on major objectives, unless we have like live events in the world, something of that sort, that can create large areas to kind of do a king of the hill battle over, something similar to Arma 3. Also, Karmakut brought up the very important idea of, hey, if this is a game where loot is very important, what is stopping my teammate from team killing me and taking my stuff? What if I die and a random offers to take my stuff back to base, so I want to allow him to be able to take my stuff off my body? This is the best designed, most high fidelity map and location and world that I've ever seen for like a PvP possible game, for a game that possibly has PvP in it. And so that's what I'm curious about with this lighting, with these graphics, with these effects, with the cool animations and the medical system. The most I am excited for anything in this game is the PvP, but we don't have it yet. In the current build of the game, it's very much a PvE vertical slice showcase, and we just can't see it yet. So it's kind of like teasing me. It's right there, you know? So we don't really have much in terms of hard evidence as to what the PvP is going to play out like. But based on what the developers discussed with me, things that I think I can share and things that I don't think I can share, because there was kind of a gray line there in the testing that we had, I believe it's going to play out something like Arma 3 Wasteland. If you ever played Arma 3 Wasteland, it was a mission or mode similar to DayZ, but you would join a faction, either blue or red, or the independent team, and then you would fight to own objectives on the map, do little missions, build your own money, your own wealth, and use that wealth to buy cooler vehicles and cooler weapons. Now, there's no vehicles in Gray Zone Warfare, at least planned at the moment from what I'm hearing, but that formula sounded very similar because there's the blue and red teams, and then independent was a team that was kind of a third team, but it was where you would play as independent if you just wanted to be like only a team with your friends, and it worked pretty well. It allowed for solo players to have their place in the game. It allowed for the two groups of people that wanted to play in larger teams to have their own place in the game, and they fought over the map in PvE and PvP situations. Now, it was definitely more PvP back then than I think that this game is really shooting for, but I really like Arma 3 Wasteland. I haven't played it in a long time, but I really, really liked it at the time because it had a lot of just unexpected moments, unpredictable moments before we ever got into Battle Royales, PUBG, Tarkov, Fortnite, all that. It had its own unique form of that DayZ style survival combat, but skipping the whole survival thing and just getting into the PvP and PvE combat. So I'm a little bit more concluded now that I have a decent idea about what this experimental, very unique game is kind of going to play like. I'm a little more settled now, but I still am very curious as to what Gray Zone can deliver to us in the future in terms of how this game is going to develop, if they're going to focus more on possibly showcasing the PvP scenarios or possibilities in the future. I'm really curious. There's so many things that they could do to make PvP interesting in this game. Imagine you're in the middle of the night in the jungle observing a village before you push in, and because there's no mission raid timer, you can spend as long as you want scouting out the location before you go in for your quest. And you hear some distant gunshots, maybe some suppressed cracks through the air, and then you see a red flare shot up into the sky, illuminating the village with RTX, with lumen or whatever, and you get this very, very nice cinematic flare effect. And then maybe the enemy forces, the AI, are calling in a reinforcement, maybe via a helicopter or something, and they come flying in and land on the side of the town and run in, and you're able to spend as much time as you want just observing this fight. You know that another player is in that village, but unlike Tarkov, there's no choke points, there's no raid timer that's going to make it predictable on how you may find them. Then you check your map and you realize, oh, this isn't just a random engagement, this is a live event happening at the moment. There's a weapons cache that's been stored in the village, and AI are spawned around it with pretty heavily armed gear, and then you notice another helicopter landing in the distance to the north, thinking, oh shit, that's possibly more reinforcements for this player. And then later you hear more gunshots because it's not reinforcements for that player, but it's an entirely separate faction of players. See, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. The unscripted, the unexpected. If shooting AI are one thing, but that's just part of the puzzle when it comes to a game that potentially has PvP in it. I know I'm talking about PvP way too much in this video already, but Gray Zone Warfare has the ability to be one of the most unique PvP games out there if it takes what Arma 3 Wasteland DayZ, and Tarkov do best and mix those ideas with their own unique ideas, I think this could be one of the most interesting games to come out in the next few years. But until then, I could speculate for hours, so I don't want to waste any more of your time. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see more on Gray Zone Warfare, I'm very sure I can get more coverage in the future, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.